folks. It's the KQEG-TV 7 Rivers Racing Show. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. We are 2 days away from getting it on at the Crosse Speedway. Tomorrow night, they start slinging dirt at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway up in Fountain City. Spent some time out there this past weekend. And tonight kicks things off officially at the Crosse Speedway. Practice. Well, Mother Nature, number one, is not a race fan. No. I've been belating her on Facebook for the past week or so as we just couldn't get the practices in on Saturday. Nope. So practices will be tonight from 5 to 7:30. The forecast looks like it's going to hold.
We're definitely hoping it'll hold because you can only go sledding for so long on a practice day. And we definitely need to get out there, as I know a lot of other teams are needing to get out there. And because of what happened on Saturday, I know there are teams out there during the week. Previously, I think on Monday, Matt Henderson was out there. So everybody's trying to get some practice in before the first night of racing.
Well, Todd Korsch has had a couple of different sessions out at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Cole Howland, hopefully he got things back together. He took some turns last week on the track and ended up dumping it into a wall. Something broke, and hopefully Cole in that number one Quick Trip NASCAR late model can get things back together and get things fixed in time for the opener coming up in just a couple of days. We got some other things we're going to talk about. They had a big race in Rockford last weekend. It was the 34th Annual Spring Classic. Sunny, a little cold, a little chilly, but I guess they had a really good outstanding attendance. And the Big 8 Series, Spring Classic 108, the first official race, I guess you could say in this area, was taken home by Cambridge's Dale Nottestad. Big wreck to start off the very first lap. I think they lost 3 big-time contenders.
Really?
And it was a crash-marred race for the first 20 laps.
That always hurts when it's the first lap of the first race of the season. That really makes it tough.
The Mid-American Stock Car Series also got things underway, and a lot of those guys will be seeing here during the Oktoberfest races this year. Wiley Bill Preitzel kicked off the 19th season of the Mid-American Sports Car Series, and locally-wise, only had a couple of local drivers that actually drove. I know there were a lot of local drivers that headed down to Rockford last weekend. Sparta's Davey Pendle in the Spring Classic 108 finished 12th. I know he qualified 14th, made the big show right off the bat, so I know he was quite happy with that. The Last Chance A race in the 01 class, Westby's Tony Bagstad, who you'll see possibly here at La Crosse this year, ended up taking 6th. Bagstad took 5th in the first heat race. And for time trials, Steve Rubik out of Rockford at 13.8, had a fantastic time trial. Davey Pendle out of Sparta qualified 14th fastest. And Tony Bagstad, 24th fastest. Davey Pendle, by the way, also finished 7th in his fast dash. One local name in the Mid-American Stock Car Series, the 15-lap Last Chance race. He ended up winning that race. Not sure what happened during the feature was on Alaska's Tom McClintock, which very familiar name to these parts of western Wisconsin.
Yes, and Tom, he really likes getting out there. I know he likes the Mid-Am Series. And what they do, they really have nice, close racing. I would expect that he would have done well in the feature.
But they had a nice attendance and kicked things off down there, and our guest is very familiar with that track in Rockford, and we'll tie those two together here in a couple of moments. A couple of other different notes. The super late models are going to be running at the Dells Raceway Park this year, going to be returning. Over 20 have committed to the Alive for 5 super late model series with a lot more drivers to enter, and look at some of the names that I've pulled up so far. You're looking at drivers from Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Iowa, Florida, Ohio. You've got such names as Steve Holzhausen, of course, Jeff Kendall, 14-year-old Matt Tift, Max McNamara, Mike Egan, Dennis Prunty, Molly Rhodes, who was in the Driver for Diversity program. Also, they're going to be bringing some other stars. Andrew Morrissey, Jeff Storm, Frank Cryer in that Culver's car, which I always like when he comes out. Going to be huge. I mean, that is a big night on May 28th, and it's going to be Kids Bike Night, the Spectator Drags, and, of course, they start at the Dells on May 21st. That looks like an entire race full of veterans from Oktoberfest.
It sure does. I was just thinking that myself. It sounded like the Trickle 99 at Oktoberfest.
Going to be stock loaded right there. Make sure you check out DellsRacewayPark.com for more information there. Also, Paige Decker, her younger sister ran the Mid-Am Series at Oktoberfest last year, 13 years old, won her heat race, and then ended up crashing the car later on. They've got a Mid-American Stock Car Series contest going on where you can win a trip to the Phoenix Raceway in November with second-year Mid-American sports car driver Paige Decker of Decker Racing. There's 3 sisters that race out of that family. Grand prize winner will be drawn at the Dells Duel Part 2 at Dells Raceway Park August 20th. You got to be 18 or older to enter. And it's airfare, ticket to the NASCAR Nationwide race, Sprint Cup race, 4-night stay in Phoenix, shuttle to the track back and forth. And for more information, check out DeckerRacing.net or DellsRaceway.com. Would be a nice trip to get on right there.
A very nice trip.
When we return, he's known in this area. He's known throughout the Midwest just by the last name and what he's done for auto racing here in western Wisconsin and throughout. The promoter of the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, Chuck Deary, our guest on the program, when we return to Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG.